Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate 2 Reviews. Now, of course, as things are getting more expensive right now, it's something worth considering maybe doing some of your own work on your own vehicles. I just started working on my Ram 1500 and my Ram 2500. I did my brakes, my Ram 2500. I saved about $1,000 in labor doing that myself. So that got me into doing now oil changes on both my wife's truck and my truck because I can save about $100 per oil change now, and I can also save about 2.5 hours of my time just doing it myself. Now, if I would definitely encourage you to go check out videos of whatever vehicle you want to do an oil change on. There's plenty of those videos out there. But one thing I feel like they don't cover very well is what tools you would need and kind of what tools are recommended. Most of the videos I saw, they kind of just said, hey, here's what we're doing, here's the oil, go for it. They kind of didn't really talk about the tools that actually make the job quite a bit easier. So guys, let's take this from the beginning, and I'll start exactly what I use from watching a bunch of different videos on how to change the oil in my two trucks, and kind of just some stuff that made it a lot simpler. Now, I will say, starting out right away, I will say gloves. Just some disposable gloves make this significantly easier. Now, not just any gloves, though. I really like these from Cool Job because they are a thickened with grip on them. So they actually give you quite a bit of grip, even when they're covered in oil, and I think these things are just fantastic. I have yet to have these rip on me, and they really do hold on to anything that's really, oily, greasy, whatever it is. They do a phenomenal job. I believe I'm on my third box now, and they are just phenomenal gloves. They just have an awesome level of grip. They don't rip, and they're relatively affordable too for what they are. So I've been really happy with these. You want to keep your hands clean. That is the way to do it. Buy some nice gloves. Spend an extra $10 for your oil change. This is going to last you probably a number of oil changes, at least probably like almost 30 oil changes plus, I'd say, depending on how many you use, and use these gloves for other stuff too. One thing I will say, moving on, is an oil filter wrench. This is definitely something you want to have. There are a couple different types that I've seen. There's like the ones that kind of go over top of the oil filter. There's some other weird ones out there too. Also the strap kind as well. I just bought this, and this is going to be the Horsity, that's how you say it, wrench here, and this works great for both of my trucks. It doesn't really crush the oil filter at all, but I'm able to really get on there and really just turn that filter quite nicely. This has been my favorite one of choice. My father-in-law's got the other type. We got the strap one, the other weird contraption one that kind of goes on top there. I tried both those out. Wasn't really thrilled with both those. They worked okay, but I felt like this one worked the best of all three of the different types I tried. Now, you may have an oil filter that's in a tricky spot, so you might have to use one of the other types of wrenches to get those tools out, or to get the filters out. However, though, if you got a pretty open oil filter, this is the kind of the wrench that I would recommend. It seems to work the best for me. Kind of just my 2 cents there. You might have another opinion on that. Well, let me know in the comments, guys, if there's another one that works really well. But so far, this one has worked absolutely amazing for me. Now, the next tool you're going to want is, I would really say, if you can use a really nice quality wrench, for taking off that drain plug, that's what I recommend to do. Also, make sure the wrench that you are using a 6-point, or say the open side of that wrench. You do not want to strip off or round off that drain plug with whatever you do. Now, here's an example of sockets. You don't want to be using a 12-point socket like I've got here, or the closed end of this ratcheting wrench on those drain plugs, because that can round off that bolt really easy. So here is a 6-point socket. That's what you want to be using on those drain plugs to not round that off. If you round it off, you got kind of an issue there. You got to figure out some way to get that bolt off. That's going to be a bit of an issue when you're working underneath your vehicle. You might have to go buy some additional tools for that, or even take it into a shop, something you definitely want to avoid if you're already doing the oil change yourself. All right, second here, I also like to buy, and this kind of seems a bit unnecessary, but it really made it super easy for me. I bought one of these kind of just measuring cups, and this one's designed for like garage use. It goes up to a 1 quart right here, or 1 liter. And both my trucks take 7 quarts. Now I've been buying 2 5-quart bottles. So of course I have to measure out 2 quarts. I could do it on the bottle. That's true. There's a level on the bottle. You can do that, by sight, pour a little bit in, check level in the bottle. That's fine. But how my trucks are both lifted, I have to basically stand on a ladder to get over to the center of the engine bay to be able to put the oil in. That's quite a lift for a 5-liter jug of oil to keep pulling it back, check it, pull it back, check it. I like to be able to just pour this on the ground, fill up 1 quart, pour it in, fill up another quart, pour it in, and I'm done. This just makes it so much easier. I don't need to worry about, holding a big five quart jug, over my engine bay. It's light, it's easy, it gets the job done, and I really, really like this thing. This is actually a great buy in my opinion. You don't need it, but it makes things quite a bit easier. Then also a nice funnel that fits inside there. I was buying the Flow Tool. This one's actually a phenomenal quick fill funnel. Works really great. It fits right in both of the oil inputs on both my trucks really well, stays put, and it works overall really, really good. Not much to say about funnels. As long as you find one that is nice, heavy duty, and stays put, that's what you also want to have there. I also picked up the Flow Tool 20 quart. This is the less mess drain pan. I definitely say pick up a much larger quart than you actually need. My trucks are both 7 quart. It fills the thing up about a quarter of the way, halfway, this whole pan here. Now, what that allows me to do is not have a full oil pan. Not like you're buying like a 10 quart oil pan. That's going to be almost to the top then. This thing has plenty of space left, so I can then basically move this thing around and dump it back into the bottle so I can safely get the oil back and put away. That is why I definitely recommend buy an oil pan that is much, much larger than what you currently need for getting your car or truck drained with oil. Now, one thing I would say to buy, sounds kind of ridiculous, but always have an extra oil drain plug on hand for both your vehicles. This one's for my 1500, and I put that on the back 1500 there, because just in case something happens, you round out, the bolt-on accident taking it out. So maybe the threads got damaged, maybe that gasket got damaged. These things are like $5, and that's cheap insurance to have on hand just in case something happens. You lose it, it gets launched by a squirrel somewhere. I don't know. If something just happens to the drain plug on accident while you're doing the oil change, having an extra part on hand is very, very handy to have. So guys, that's pretty much all I've got for you. I'll leave a couple links in the description as well for a jack stands, and ramps. I really don't need any of those because both my trucks are lifted. I can easily get underneath of them without any additional tools or anything to have those raised up. They are very easy to get under, which is awesome. If you got a truck that's got a little bit of a lift to it, even like my 3/4 ton, which has almost no modifications done, they are very, very tall, very, very easy to get under without any type of lift, jacks, anything at all, which is awesome to have. So of course, a car I know is quite a bit different. I've done oil changes on some of my cars in the past. You gotta get those things up on ramps, basically high as you can go to really access some of those filters at times. But guys, this is what I've got for you that works really, really well for me, what I'd recommend for oil changes. And I think this stuff has been phenomenal so far. I'm always looking for something better too. So you guys got anything else better, leave a note in the comments. I'll just like to check that out and see what else you can do. But of course, this stuff gets pricier and pricier right now. I'm saving about $100 per oil change, and I probably do like 4 a year total now. So $400 savings, that's fantastic. And of course, what I spend on all the tools for my oil changes paid for itself in about 1 oil change. So that's pretty awesome there. Honestly, I love it. So guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day and stay safe out there.